Hi, my name's Firebelly, and I am a game developer and professional software engineer. I have a game called Swordslinger that's coming out soon. It's a physics-based puzzle game about crafting your own solutions. If that sounds interesting to you, be sure to wishlist it on Steam and give the demo a try. I thought this would be a fun video to show you guys some of my earliest game projects. Now, for context, the earliest one starts in 2010, and for this video, we're going to go all the way up to 2013. 2010, I would have been a sophomore in high school, 14 or 15 years old. All right, so first up, we have Sniper.exe. This was created on June 28th of 2010. So this was 10 years ago, and it was created at 3:15. All right, so we have a beautiful paint background here that says Snipe Game Info and High Scores. If we click Game Info, we get a beautiful wall of text. You can see even back 10 years ago, I was still using that name Firebelly. So this has been a long-standing part of my identity, I guess you could say. Anyway, we got a wall of text here. We'll click Escape there. High scores with a background that says OMG Sniper, so pretty much on par for a 14-year-old. Let's go ahead and snipe. All right, so we have our level 1 here. And the goal of the game is to use this bolt-action rifle kind of deal to snipe the stick people on screen. And as far as I can tell, that's basically the whole goal of the game. We have a multiplier that ticks up for consecutive kills. One thing to note is at the top we have the title screen. It says level 4, how's your score doing? And it points to your score. It's just a score-based game, not a whole lot of gameplay here. One thing to note is that this game is locked at 30 frames per second, which needless to say is very undesirable. The hit detection is way off. And yeah, there's not much more to say. I don't think there's an end to this game, or if there is, I really don't feel like getting to it. Because, let's be honest, this game is not all that fun. But it was a great accomplishment for me as a little 14-year-old. So yeah, that's the first one. All right, this next one's called Stickman Defender. Now, I have a couple of versions here, so I'm just going to go to Stickman Defender Final because I feel like that's the final version. Okay, so right off the bat, you can tell that this one looks a lot better. Still not great. We have that 2010s era sort of GIMP or Photoshop blurring, classic shiny buttons, very, it harkens back to that era. But it's a nicer menu, still locked at 30 FPS, it looks like. We still got a wall of text tutorial. So right off the bat, you can see that this is basically the same game, it just looks a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and start. All right, so this one, you have stickmen that are coming from the right side of the screen. And our first weapon here is a stick. So you basically it's kind of like a wave defense, I guess you could say. No, I don't want to quit. You gotta use space to reload. It's a wave defense, and you basically don't want the stickmen to cross over to the left here. And if they do, you have 500 health, so I'm assuming that health will go down. Now, the interesting thing is I made a great leap in technology, and I included a shop in this game. So if I click P, you can see that we have a shop, and we have a couple of upgrades. We got different weapons, and we have some money. So this pistol is going to cost $300, and it tells you the damage, reload time, and also the type. So I need $90 more before I can get a pistol. So let's go ahead and kill some of these guys. So do I have enough money for the pistol? I do. So let's buy that. Pistol bought. Okay. And I'm gonna see how, oh, okay, so I got the pistol now. And it basically is a lot more powerful. I can kill things with a single shot, at least these weakest guys here. All right, so it's getting a lot more difficult now. There are almost too many enemies to manage. One thing that I think I did do really well is give some of the stickmen random speeds. So, you may have a stickman in the back that is more of a threat just because of his speed. Okay, so now we have a red giant stickman over here. And he's going to take, obviously, quite a few shots to kill. But yeah, that's basically it. I think even bigger stickmen come along, and that's the game. A little bit better than my last game. Still not very fun. Still not very balanced. But you can see the obvious progress. All right, so this one is Stickman Defense 2. This is obviously meant to be the sequel to the game that I just showed you. This one was made November of 2010. So, and the previous one was made in July of 2010. So only a few months between each of these games, which is actually quite a good pace for pumping out these little games as a noob. So this is very much the same formula. The stick people look a little bit nicer this time, and I made another leap in technology. This game is locked to 60 FPS, which I believe was Game Maker's recommended room step speed. So this one is already playing much nicer. The stick people also look nicer. I think I used Flash or something similar to make these guys, so they have that classic hand-drawn look. Okay, there's no shop in this one, so basically you just use the Q and W keys to cycle through your gun types, and I think it's just the ammo costs money. So with the submachine gun, the ammo costs 10 cents a piece. So you can actually sustain yourself off a submachine gun right away, as long as you are careful about hitting all of your shots. So you can see my ammo is actually growing, and I can go into an assault rifle here, which takes, it looks like 25 cents per shot. And then I got sniper, which pierces through enemies and can kill multiple enemies, so it's kind of neat. And then I also have a minigun, which is just a torrent of shots. So this is, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because it's exactly the same formula basically. I got rid of the shop. The weapons can be selected at any point. You'll get bigger enemies that come along and all that good stuff. So it's essentially the same thing, just improved, I would say, just a little bit. All right, so this is the first actual game that I made in that era for a while. So this one was made in July of 2012. So, as you could probably tell, it's sort of like a base building zombie defense kind of game. So let's go through the tutorial really quick. Welcome to Crafty Zombies. So we gotta kill the zombies. Yeah. Build walls, build turrets, buy guns, place mines. Okay, so basically it's a tower defense kind of where you're building your base. All right, I'm sure we'll figure it out. I don't really want to read all that stuff. So wall of text tutorials, generally a very bad idea, but young me did not understand that. So, okay, so right off the bat, these controls are terrible. So we have what should be a twin stick shooter, right? Except you don't use WAS and D to move, you only use W and S to move, and you either move toward your cursor or away from your cursor. So that is that is terrible. Okay, so we have wave 1 complete. We've got one little gold coin up there. So it doesn't look like we can build anything. I can tell that this scaling is probably going to be way off. So these early levels are basically just running around trying to find the zombies. I do like how they blow up into little giblets and leave blood decals behind. All right, so we got wave 2 complete. We only have 3 coins. So as you can see, these things get very expensive. So just building one wood wall is 2 coins. Maybe I'll start building a little base here. So let's place a wood block there, a wood block there. We'll just get the scaffolding up for this. So the nice thing about the walls is that you can shoot over them. Oh, I just got 20. What did I just get $20? 20 gold coins? Okay, so I forgot that the zombies can actually drop coins. That's interesting. Okay. I wish that was more reliable. You know, I'd rather have every zombie drop coins that you can go and collect than it be a random chance of dropping a lot of coins, right? Because then it feels more consistent, and I feel like that would make you want to actually venture out from your base a little bit to go get some coins. Okay, so we got a nice little base coming up right here. Let's go ahead and press enter. We'll go again. So this game is definitely one of the first full-featured games that I made that was actually kind of decent. Now, I'm still not good. I wouldn't, charge money for this game, and I wouldn't expect people to have too much fun with it. But, for as young as I was at that point, this was a huge accomplishment. I remember this being sort of the point where I decided that I wanted to really get deep into making games. So let's just, for fun, let's do 8, and we're going to place army guy. Oh, actually, I think the army guy is basically a turret. I think he's going to shoot things for me. I will say that the idea is here, like, this could be a really fun game, just the general things that I have in place here. Yeah, so the army guy will shoot the zombies for you. So I can definitely see this. I mean, I'm sure there's games like this out there where you are in a wide open field and you have to defend yourself against waves, but you can build things, right? But, you know, I think that's a solid idea just generally. I think the execution obviously is not great in this case, but you know, the ideas were all there. I can definitely see even now how I could tweak things, building little houses, putting your crafting stuff inside the houses, hiring guards to patrol and kill things. Like, all of that stuff could work really well together. And I think I just didn't have the game dev education I needed to execute on that properly. So yeah, that is Crafty Zombies. All right, this next one is Delivery Planet X. This one is, you are a pizza guy that somehow got stranded on an alien planet and you have to kill endless waves of aliens. So this one's definitely the most good looking of it. I made this with my best friend. I did all the programming, he did all of the art. And yeah, let's get right into it. So here is the arena. It's basically just endless waves. That's all it is. So one thing I will note is that this is an actual twin stick shooter, so I can move independent of the direction that I'm aiming. And the controls do feel a little bit slidey though, so I'm gonna move to the right here and release, and that's how much I slide. You can probably just tell from the video how bad that is. So controls are very slidey, and also there is a lack of juice. There's no screen shake. Things just generally don't feel gamey, you know what I mean? I mean, there's that whole concept of game feel, and as far as I can tell, there's none of that in here. So I actually just unlocked the first set of perks, which unlocks after killing a certain amount of enemies. You can see that we actually have 5 perks in 3 different categories here, which are super nice. So we have a companion. This is like a companion orb that shoots for you. We have some, you know, defensive bonuses and 15% increased movement speed. So I can go ahead and, now I'm moving faster, and I also have companion. That's basically the entire game. You go through all the perks, you unlock everything that you want. But here, at 100 enemies, every 100 enemies, a spider queen spawns. And this is just like a little boss fight. So firstly, she puts down webs, which slow your movement speed a lot. So you have to kind of avoid the webs if you don't want to get caught by the spiderlings that she's birthing over here. And they actually explode and do AoE damage, so you need to make sure you keep your distance from them. You can't shoot them. And then she also has a teleport ability where she sort of rises up in the air and comes back down on top of you. I will show you the death condition here. So if my companion cube would stop killing everything. There we go. So here's the death screen that shows up. And it just gives you your stats and then says, hey, press any key to continue. So let's go ahead and do it. And that's the game. So it's like a little arcade game. I'm not a huge fan of these types of games. And a lot of the games that I made from this era, actually, I think all of them, didn't really have a win condition. So I'm unsure what I was doing there. But yeah, I hope you like this little overview of some of my earliest game projects. Obviously, I've done a lot of development since then. I've gotten a lot better at making games, and I'm still continuing to get better at making games. So if you're just starting off, keep this in mind. Just keep at it. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from just doing game development, and you'll end up in a good spot for sure. So hope you liked the video. Hope you found it entertaining. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter @Firebelly. Wishlist my game Swordslinger on Steam. A link to that is in the description.